Hi, welcome to day 5 of the 7 Days of Yin Yoga Challenge, and today's theme is judgment. I know that doesn't really give you an idea what poses we are going to do today or anything, but let's begin in a butterfly pose, which we've been doing during previous days anyway. So, place the soles of your feet next to each other and to touch each other, and just have it as far away from your groin as you wish, or as close as you want to, depending how much of a deep stretch you wish to have right now. I don't know if this is a morning time for you. You might be really sore from the night of sleeping, so place them further away and then bring your feet closer. After a little while, we'll be staying in this for 3 minutes. So, take your feet and prepare to lay down. Start taking deep breaths, calming the mind and preparing for the practice today. Your hips might feel really tight, so you might even have your legs up here if it feels nicer right now. I don't want you to feel any pain right now. Just slowly prepare your hips for the pose and it being more intense. You can swing the legs a little bit up and down, but do that slowly and try to connect that with your breathing. Inhale, lift them up a little bit, and exhale, let them come down a little bit. And try to lengthen your breaths. With an inhale, they rise up a little bit. Exhale, let them come down. And you might notice after a few times repeating this that it's not so painful anymore. You can always stop whenever you feel great and just start deepening the stretch on your hips by letting the gravity pull your knees closer to the ground. You can also play around a little bit by just lifting the other leg up and pressing the other leg completely on the floor, and then trying to stretch the other hip, going to your limit, staying there for 1 breath, and then switching. If you feel like being playful this morning, or even whenever you decided to practice today. Few more deep breaths here. And let's come up. And now, stay in that butterfly pose. Begin in it, just correct your position, but come up. And then we will go into a deer pose, which means that the right leg will remain here, and you will begin move your left leg closer to you, then take your ankle and start moving it behind you. And having the legs further away from your core. But if it feels hard, the easier way is to have your legs closer. As long as both of your sit bones touch the floor, you're doing it right. Depending how you feel this morning. You may walk the feet further away as you deepen the pose by staying longer in it. Also, if you wish, you may give some support for your front knee with a block or pillow or blanket. And then start moving the back leg further away. Let's stay here for 3 minutes. Slowly letting the legs travel further from your groin or core. If you feel like that, it's not necessary. This is your practice, so don't compare yourself to anybody else. Only you feel what your body feels. And sometimes you also feel that judgment. You judge yourself, you're too hard on yourself. You don't let yourself be free of negative thoughts. Even though you're doing your best, you still judge yourself. So why are we so harsh on ourselves? Sometimes other people tell us the meanest things and give us the most awful feedback. In daily lives, that happens, interactions like that happen. But in the end, actually, it doesn't really mean what others say, because a lot of times you might be the one who's giving yourself the hardest feedback. But you should actually learn to love yourself more and forgiving yourself sometimes. It's a good thing that you notice that you're not maybe giving your best and you could do better. Change the negativity into positive thoughts. Like right now, you might be sitting with your legs really close to your body and not doing the pose like I am doing. This doesn't mean that I'm better than you, but today I felt like I'm challenging my body to do this. But there's also days that I don't feel like doing the pose to the fullest because I want to take it easy. Inhale and exhale. Begin bringing the feet behind you, back again, up, and have your legs again in a butterfly pose. And then bring your right leg closer to you and start taking it behind you. Move the legs as far away from you as you feel like, but as long as your sit bones are touching the floor. resting on the floor. This pose is actually supposedly great for the symptoms of menopause and great for also reducing the swelling on your legs during pregnancy. So I don't know if any of you are in a state of menopause or pregnancy right now. Probably not, I don't know, but I guess this is the pose to go for. And also this is really therapeutic for high blood pressure because it stimulates those meridians that affect those things in our bodies, as we learned on day 4 about meridians. Also, this pose is great for stomach problems and reducing gas and improving digestion. We're halfway through on this side. Also, you might notice that your other side of your hips, for example, in this pose, is different than the other side. Like maybe the pose was easier on the other side, or it's easier on this side. So it doesn't make you bad or anything, it just means that your body is different from the other side. Your left hip is different than your right hip. And yoga can make your body be on the same level if you keep on practicing the poses. Eventually, the other hip will be as flexible as the other hip. Take one deep inhale and exhale. Give yourself a smile. It's a smile as wide as you possibly can. Maybe laugh a little bit if that makes you feel great. And start coming out of the boat by bringing the leg to the center. And then we will move into a dragon pose. But first, let's take a quick downward dog. Oh. Feel the stretch and the difference of downward dog compared to your yin practice. Bend on your legs a little bit. And then lift your right leg a little bit and begin bringing it between your hands. Place your back knee on the ground. Untuck your toes. See how the pose feels right now. You're supposed to start feeling it right here. If you have a blanket or pillow or something, you may place that under your back knee to make the pose easier, because this is kind of hard on the knee, on a hard floor. So see how your leg feels. Or you can keep your leg lifted. You can stay here, or you can be up here to begin the pose, like this. We'll be staying on each side for 3 minutes, and we are almost done with the first minute. So choose your position and try to stay in it. Do less first, and then go further. This is a really deep hip opener that stretches the back of your legs hip flexors, and quadriceps. So take it easy. You may also place both of your hands on the inner side and begin leaning the front leg further away from you if you want to feel the stretch differently. Also, you may have your hands come down on your forearms and stay here. This is already really deep. Stay where you decided to be. You may also, if you want to twist your body a little bit, and you are on your forearms already, if you have your right leg in front right now, then have your left arm, the forearm stays on the ground, and you lift your right arm up to give your body a little twist. But you can also just stay here. Let's begin coming out of the pose, wherever you are. Come up to the beginning position, tuck your toes, and lean back a little bit. Bring your legs together, and go back to downward dog. Lift your left leg up a little bit, or the leg you didn't do. And then bring it between your hands. And choose the spot you decided to stay on today. Use blankets if you have to. Maybe do the twist, staying on it for a little bit. And slowly start deepening the pose by leaning forward. You don't even have to lean that much. Even this much is enough. And then go to your forearms after a little bit. Two more minutes in this pose. Dragon pose is the hardest pose in Yin Yoga series, and it's not that hard to get into, but staying in it is actually hard, because we'll be staying in it for long periods of time. And there's all these variations you can take in the pose and going further and staying in all these variations for like a minute to 2 or 3. Think of that as a little journey you take to achieve something. Comparing that on your daily life, you constantly take tiny journeys through your decisions to make tiny achievements. And this applies for the bigger ones as well. You put some work, little or bigger, into all these efforts, and then you finally achieve them. That's like when you release from this pose. You achieved the stretch in your hips and they feel grateful for coming out of the pose, but you completed it. You have the discipline to stay in the pose, or in the project, or work shift, or whatever you're doing. Or you kept on believing in yourself, staying in this pose for long enough. Just trust yourself, and let's release. Lean back, then bring your legs together. Quick downward dog to relieve the tension in the hips. You stretch them a lot. Move the pocket away if you want to. And then let's take a happy baby. So go lay on your back. Bring your feet, your knees to your chest. Then take your feet to your hands and start lifting them up, pushing your knees away from each other gently with your arms, maybe playing around a little bit. Just breathing. The pose we just did is a dragon pose, and you can try to stay on each side for 5 minutes even if you want to, or 1 minute per each variation to go deeper a little bit. And at some point you might want to try the leg that's bent in front of you. You may want to try to let it slide further and end up in a split, which is called actually I don't remember what it's called, but in Yin Yoga it has its own name. In Yang Yoga the pose is called monkey pose, but in Yin Yoga it's called dragon something, so you might want to explore that. The dragon pose is great for opening your hips and practicing for a split. Then bring your legs down. Find that comfortable position. Have your legs straighten up. You might still feel the tensions relieving in your groin and hips. And now, deep inhale and exhale. Begin your Savasana. Great job. Inhale and exhale. The video is about to end, but you may stay in this Savasana as long as you'd like and how much time you need today. Be thankful for what you are doing. You are, for sure, doing your absolute best. Stop judging yourself. Try harder, but also give yourself some credit sometimes. Breathe that gratefulness into your body. You did great today. And you will do amazing tomorrow as well. So be nice to yourself. Stay in Savasana or Come up into a cross-legged pose. Lift your arms up. Look into your thumbs. Bring your palms to your chest. Feel the heartbeat. How calm it is.